So, I mean, you've heard what we've got to do, and we're preaching to the choir here. So I'm going to, I think, take a little different tact and talk about not only the importance of this election, but the importance of the people who are gathered in this room today. Because this has been an effort not only between unions, and we've got unions here, AFSCME is in the house, 1.6 million members strong, okay? Our everyday heroes who never quit. They never quit on their union, they never quit on public services, they never quit on their communities. And we're going to make sure that our members go to the polls, and on November 8th, if they haven't voted already, they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And here in this state, they're going to vote and make sure that Mark Smith is going to be the next Speaker of the House. Okay? We're going to send back friends like Dave Woodcock. All within our power to do just that. We do have the power. I mean, you look around this room, and one of the things that, and Danny knows this very well, one of the things that we've been trying to do much more aggressively within my union, within AFSCME, but within the entire trade union movement, is not only communicate with our members in a stronger and better way, in talking with them one-on-one, knocking on those doors and making those phone calls and grabbing them at the work site, but talking with our community partners, talking with folks who may not be union members, who share the values, who have the same kinds of concerns that all working families have. So we have made a special effort, not only here in this state, but across the country, to reconnect with our members, but also to reconnect with our communities and reconnect with our coalition partners who believe in the same kinds of issues that we believe in. That's what makes this gathering so important this morning. Because we not only have representatives from labor here, but we have representatives from a number of other organizations outside of labor who are walking with us, who are standing with us, who are making their voices heard. And that's extremely important, and we've got to continue it. We've got to continue it. We cannot allow anyone to divide us or divide our communities. And that's exactly what's going on in this country right now. You have someone that wants to divide us. You have someone that's going to talk the talk, but he's not walking the walk. You heard Tom, you heard Dan talk about the differences between these two candidates. I'm not going to get into that because you know it and you understand it. But this is what we must do the next 4 or 5 days. Okay? And I know that we are tired. I know that we want this election over with, right? It's been a long, long election. But we have a responsibility here in this room. I know many of you have been knocking on doors. I know that many of you have been making those phone calls and talking to your neighbors and your friends and your family members about the importance of this election. We've got to continue to do that. We can't let up now. We have the power to make change, to make positive change in this country. All of you have this power. And we can't stop now. And let me tell you something. I know that you won't stop. And I know that you're going to continue to talk with folks. You're going to continue to knock on those doors until maybe your knuckles are bleeding. You're going to continue to make those phone calls until your voice is hoarse. But if we do what we do best, and we do this best, a grassroots organizing campaign, then Hillary Clinton will be the next president of the United States. If we do what we have to do. It's on us. Each and every one of us. And then we've got to send some friends along to Washington, D.C. that are going to support the next president of the United States. We have a real chance to flip the Senate. Okay? Now, don't believe these polls. I mean, you're going to see all kinds of polls coming out the next 4 or 5 days. Don't even look at them. Don't even look at them. What you've got to do is to talk with people. Share your vision with people. Listen to them. Urge them to vote. And the importance of the vote. Come November 8th. Next week. So when we elect Hillary Clinton, and if we do the kinds of things we need to do in Iowa and Pennsylvania and New Hampshire, Wisconsin and Indiana and Nevada, Missouri, North Carolina, if all of us get together, our communities get together in all of those states, guess what? Hillary Clinton will only be president, but we're going to control the Senate of the United States if we do what we do best. We've got to stand with people who have stood with us. And we've got to make our voices heard and not be shy about it. As I said, I was in St. Louis past couple of days. We had a number of meetings. And I was talking to a young man who told me that he was going to vote third party. So I wanted to talk to him, right? I mean, you can't shy away from these conversations. You can't give up and say, oh, he's not worth talking to, or she's not worth talking to. But the first thing I say is this. I'm not telling you who to vote for. That is a very personal decision that only you can make. But I think that I've got a responsibility. We have a responsibility to educate those potential voters and to talk to them about the importance of this race. So that was my soft sell beginning, in the beginning. I'm not going to tell you how to vote. And then I just started beating the crap out of them, okay? And I just started talking about the differences between the two candidates and how, if he votes third party, he really is voting for Trump. We can't have that. So the brother listened 10, 15 minutes, and he stood back and he said, you just changed my mind. You just changed my mind. We can do this if we talk to people. Not giving up. Not giving up on folks. So we've got President of the United States, the Senate. I talked to Nancy Pelosi, Tom, a couple of days ago. She's enthused about picking up substantial numbers in the House. We're going to do that, but let me just end with this. Those national elections are extremely important, but all politics is local, okay? And all of you have a responsibility here in this state to make sure that, number one, we keep hold of that Senate, that state Senate. We've got to do that. For the sake of your families and your communities and your children and your grandchildren. And then we really do have an opportunity and a chance to retake the House if we do what we do best. So, it's all in your hands. It really is. Labor, our progressive partners sitting in this room, working together, side by side, making our voices heard together, pushing as much as we can, organizing and mobilizing and educating our communities. That's what this is all about. And if we do that, we're going to have a real good night on November 8th. But let me leave you with this. After November 8th, and after the celebration, on November 9th, we've still got to work like hell. We've still got to continue these kinds of relationships that exist in this room. Because Hillary Clinton is going to be faced with moving a very positive agenda that's going to impact on working families all across this country. And we can't disappear and expect that because she's won, the work is over. The work just begins. Because we've got to keep this coalition intact. We've got to continue the kinds of communications that are taking place in our neighborhoods and communities across this country. To mobilize an army to support the progressive values that Hillary will be putting forward in the next few years. So we can't stop. And we can't quit. Iowa, I'm looking at you. The weight of the world is on your shoulders, okay? And I want to leave this place, and I'm going to Ohio tonight, and I'll be in Columbus and Cincinnati until Sunday night. But I want to go to Ohio, where it's going to be a close race, and I'm going to tell them this. I just spoke to a group of activists, and they're going to raise some hell. They're making their voices heard.